Hello chess family, it's me National Master Jesse James, and today I want to talk to you guys about San Antonio City Championship 2023. Now this is going to be hosted over in downtown San Antonio from June 9th to the 11th. It's going to be an extravaganza. We're going to have a lot of things to do here. You can go ahead and take a look here. As you can see, we're going to be having a USCF / FIDE rated section, and we're going to be having 3 sections for this tournament. As you can see here, we're going to be having our over 1800, the U1800, and the Novice under 1200 section. We got a pretty good prize fund of $3,600, 100% guaranteed prizes. So if you do play in this one, you get to play in these sections. And well, if you get to play in the top section with me, you're going to be able to get a chance to get a FIDE rating. Now we already have a Grandmaster and an International Master in the mix here, so you might even have a chance to go ahead and play against them. With that being said, we're also going to be having some fun side events. One of them is going to be, well, we're going to be doing a simul with Grandmaster Alexander Mista. He's going to be playing 20 people for only $20 each. He's going to go, and we also have a Blitz tournament, a Bug House tournament, and a one-day Scholastic. So I hope you can join us in person. With that being said, I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and show you a game that I played from a previous city championship. We're going to go all the way back to 2011. You know, it's funny, I don't even remember when I did first win it, as I've won it, I believe, 7 times now. So hopefully I can get another notch underneath my belt. Oh, by the way, the price is $50. Not a too bad as far as the prize fund goes. As you can see here, first place is $600. First place for the under 1800 is $400, and under 1200, $200, which I think is a very modest prize fund. I know back in my day, whenever I was playing, it was only $200 or $300, so I definitely wanted to ramp that up. And as you can see here, we have a lot of class prizes too, so you can definitely win back your money quite easily. Well, I say easily, but chess is definitely one of the hardest games to play, or at least to win, as far as I know. With that being said, I want to go over a game. This is going to be from 2011, like I said, and well, let's take a look at this one. Here I was playing with the black pieces, and I'm playing against Mike Corrigan, and well, here we go. We start off with e4, c5, pawn to d4. As you can see here, young Jesse is already an expert, and well, my opponent here, Mike, is 1926, and he decides to go ahead and play the Smith-Morra Gambit. With that being said, at this point, young Jesse did not know how to play Smith-Morra Gambit very well, so I get into a very bad position very fast. Luckily for me, he did not know the correct way to proceed, and I was able to fight back quite nicely. So after pawn takes on d4 here, pawn c3, and well, young Jesse goes ahead and accepts, even though he does not know anything about this opening, and he plays pawn takes on c3. Alright, bishop to c4 gets played, saying, you know what, if you want to, go ahead and take another pawn. Here I knew a little bit better, and I played pawn to e6, knight to f3, queen to c7, a nice little move here developing with a threat. You know, young Jesse was always going for traps, hoping for something like a bad move, like bishop to e2 here so I could play pawn c2. But of course, my opponent knew better than that, and he plays queen e2, which makes sense as well. The queen usually goes to e2 in these Smith-Morra variations, and this just defends the bishop. I went ahead and played pawn a6, again looking for b5, maybe even pawn c2 in the future. a4 got played. He does not want that to happen. So here I went ahead and played knight c6. Now I did know about this e6 variation, which was one of the best ways to play, but here my opponent does get a lot of compensation in a few moves. Knight takes on c3, knight g to e7, bishop to e3, knight to g6, castles, and bishop to e7. Although I did get the setup I like, I definitely do not like the queen here on c7, and older Jesse would not like this at all. And here you're going to see white start pushing forward now. Knight to g5 got played. A very nice move here. As you can probably tell, I'm going to try and castle here. And well, he has some ideas about how to do a kingside attack. I went ahead and castled, and an interesting move for him, he played knight to h3. Here I think better probably would have been something like pawn to f4, but maybe he didn't like this after bishop takes, pawn takes, and then now this e5 square does get weak. So he went ahead and played knight to h3, and here I spurred on the fire and played knight g to e5, getting a free tempo off the bishop. The bishop went to a2, and now a move I definitely do not like here, knight to b4. Yes, it is attacking the bishop, but I think it would have been better to go ahead and play b6 or d6 and try to get the light square bishop out. Bishop to b3 got played, pawn to d6, and here he goes, pawn to f4, a free tempo against the knight. And my opponent was very, very much an aggressive player, as he's going to be harassing me on the king side from now on. The knight jumped back to d7. I remember thinking in this game, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't feel comfortable. Typically, I like to be on the attacking side, so this was definitely different as I'm just defending pretty much the whole time. Pawn to f5 got played, a very nice move and very thematic. It's putting pressure on this weak e6 square, and it's not so simple just to push the pawn forward here, as the d5 square will be weak. So I went ahead and played knight to e5 here, jumping back to my nice square. And here we can see that, well, it is protected on e6 now. And here again, he does not stop. He gets relentless here and goes ahead and plays pawn to g4. Here he missed a nice move of knight f4, putting pressure on the e6 square. Notice that if you take, now the d5 square becomes weak, and knight f to d5 here. You can see you're going to get a beautiful knight here, and well, I'm going to be losing my good dark square bishop. Already it is +3 here for white. Lucky for me though, my opponent was far too aggressive and played pawn g4. You can see that he's going to pawn storm me. g5, get the queen in here. Oof, I remember being very, very nervous at this point. But you got to keep your cool and keep developing your pieces. So bishop to d7. Pawn to g5, and here I went queen to d8. Again, a move I'm not too proud about, but the idea was definitely to try and protect this f6 square. Here we play queen h5 with the nice idea of rook f4 to h4 here, looking at that h7 weakness. So here I went ahead and played, well, king to h8, rook to f4, here he comes, and here I've only got one variation that's going to get me out of this. Black to move. What do you play here to start defending this king? Here there's only one good way to do this, and that was pawn to g6, trying to take away the squares here. Here the queen tries to jump up, because if you just run backwards, well, the attack is not going to work out. And if the attack doesn't work out, well, now you have all these weaknesses around your king. So the queen went to h6, and this is what I had planned. G takes on f5 here. And, well, he went ahead and played bishop d4, the losing move. Here I'm now able to defend quite easily. Here he was trying to pin the knight, as it looks like it's a pretty good defender for the king. So, what's the idea? Well, you just go ahead and play rook to g8. After this, my king is very, very safe, as I'm going to be putting pressure on the g5 pawn, but also, well, rook to g7 ideas just to defend on h7. Here we played rook h4, rook g7, bishop takes on e5, pawn takes on e5, and here rook to h5, trying to defend the g5 pawn here. Well, let's keep getting our pieces into good squares. Bishop c6. At this point, I was very, very confident in my position. As you can see now, these bishops are looking to come in. And, well, this king is just looking very, very unsafe. The other unfortunate part here for white is there's really no other piece to help attack in this game. They've only got the 2. And, well, h7 looks clearly defended with the rook here on g7. So, rook to d1 got played. Queen to b6 check. Knight to f2, and this was another mistake here. Here there's actually a few different ways to move forward here, but, well, I always like to use force moves. So, black to move. What do you play in this position? There's lots of good moves here, but just give me one winning line here. All right, hopefully you push pause and try to figure out what was a good move in this position. Again, there was tons of good moves here. There was bishop to c5 here, putting it on for the pin. Just trying to make trades in this kind of position. You know what? Get greedy. Here the computer likes f takes on e4. Trying to win another pawn here, maybe e3 coming into the future. Notice that, well, with this knight pin, knight takes on e4 can't get played. So e3 definitely looks like a strong idea here. I mean, again, there's just a plethora of ideas here, even rook to d8. With that being said, young Jesse does like to be aggressive, does like to attack. So here I went ahead and played. Bishop takes on g5 here. Still a winning move here, forking this queen, and also maybe even ideas with bishop to e3 with a discovery checking idea. Okay, here we go. What happens now? Rook takes on g5, rook takes on g5 check, and here the king went to f1. Notice here that he did not take on g5. Why was this? Because at the end of this, you play rook to g8 for a pin and a win. So, back to the game. King to f1 got played. Rook to g6, queen to h4, f takes on e4, knight c takes on e4, queen to e3. Now I'm just bringing in my pieces and the game is pretty much over. Here he went ahead and played rook d8 check, takes, king g7, queen to d6, and here, well, I just finished the game off with queen to d4, forcing a queen trade here. There's really nothing good for this queen to do. I mean, here I could have taken on e4 here also, but I didn't want to play any games, so I went ahead and just played queen to d4, and at this point, my opponent went ahead and resigned. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Remember, do go ahead and give us a like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you at the chess tournament for the San Antonio City Championship. Remember, you do not have to be from San Antonio to play in the City Championship. You just have to be a city resident to win the title and get the trophy. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video.